Welcome back to Beneath the Kotatsu. Back as always, your hosts James and On.
Hello.
So this week we wanted to do a double header. We both chose one anime movie each that we thought looked interesting to us that we haven't really seen before because we're both not very much anime movie watchers. I know On's seen a lot of the Ghibli movies, but I don't really watch any of those.
I mean, with the Ghibli movies, I feel like they just kind of air, like when they used to air on TV. I just kind of watch them because I remember
exactly right. That's how I caught Kiki's Delivery Service.
Yeah, it was on the Disney Channel, so I was just like, oh, this sounds like a nice movie, and then I just watch it. But most of these movies, they usually don't air in the States, so you have to find different ways to watch them.
Yeah. So I went with Promare, and what movie did you go with?
I went with The Silent Voice. And we chose like the worst two movies to watch back to back. Like
it was like the exact opposite side of the fence, dude. That was
exactly.
Crazy. I loved it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I enjoyed both movies. I watched them on separate days.
Yeah, I watched it on separate days too. We watched them pretty much back to back, like one on one day, and then the next day we watched the other one.
Yeah, that was a definite a lot of emotional whiplash going on, wasn't there?
Oh yeah, it was the most ridiculous. Like when I was watching Promare, I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. And then I went to Silent Voice, I was like, what? Why the fuck did I choose this? Am I crazy?
What did you hate it or something?
No, I loved it. It was just like you went from like one spectrum of like yes, go to like, oh fuck, I'm feeling so sad right now. What the fuck?
I definitely had to take more than a couple of pauses during the Silent Voice.
I did too. I was like, I had to take a breather.
Does what for me? Like the only other show I did that first for was a Watamote because the cringe was so hard. These is like, oh my god, I'm so pissed off. I need to take a break for like 5 seconds and go back and watch it. It was so frustrating, wasn't it?
It was. All right, well, let's talk about Promare first because of course that's probably the first anime we both watched at the start, and oh my god, this anime, if I could sum it up, it's like the love child of Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill.
Oh, really? I went with TTGL and Fire Force, Gurren Lagann. Whatever. American branch of Fire Force, just like the West branch of Soul Society.
Nah, this is definitely the love child of Kill la Kill and Gurren Lagann.
There's a lot of Kill la Kill because it's a trigger property, but
it's Gurren Lagann is technically a trigger property. I know it's made by Gainax, but it was the person the person who found a trigger came from Gainax, so makes sense. I mean, that ending scene where they created the giant robot, that was straight out of Gurren Lagann.
Oh, you better believe it. That was like, oh, dude, this is like Long Lost Onisan got separated at birth. Right? Except a more water and fire based. Didn't you love the drill references?
Yeah, they had so many. I'm like, is this like a nod to Gurren Lagann? This has to be a nod.
It
to Gurren Lagann,
absolutely
right?
was. Even the mech was. There's no way it was. And the giant robot spitting out of the earth. That was so Gurren Lagann. I loved every second of it.
The reason I found like Kill la Kill like so prevalent in Promare is because of the anime
design.
The animation style. Like, you know how Kill la Kill, they had like a lot of cut gags where they kind of like jump back and forth, like cut gags and then seriousness. They had a lot of that. Like especially if you were watching like the girl that creates like adventures and stuff like that. She reminds me exactly of the girl with the bowl cut in Kill la Kill.
Oh yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I mostly just remember the band girl, the big dude that was into BDSM armor. That was more Vulcan. I was like, dude, this reminds me of that dude from Kill la Kill.
Right. But
by the way, just to interject you really quick, did you watch the sub or dub?
I watched it in subbed.
Oh, I was like, I fired it up sub. I was like, man, this looks like an American branch for the Fire Force people. I'm gonna watch it in dub. I enjoyed every second of it. It was pretty
really
good. Yeah.
Huh.
They cast it really well. Like they had who was it, Leo Foti or whatever his name was the he'll always be the Black Power Ranger to me, but Johnny Young Bosch, he killed it. I think that was a good fit. You know, dark brooding character. What were the fire people called? The Burnish or something like that?
Yeah, the Burnish.
Yeah, so I feel like they cast him well. What did you think about? Oh, you didn't watch dub, obviously. You can't answer this. Galathymos. He was like, who was the Onichan in TTGL, the one that died like around halfway point?
I know who you're talking about.
It was like Kamina, yeah. It was like Kamina on roids. It felt like thick boy Kamina.
Like basically Leo Fotia, the Burnish like main protagonist or whatever. He was the little brother to Galothymos. Like that's the relationship I saw because of them pulling it out from like if Kamina never died, that's how the ending scene would have ended for Gurren Lagann.
It totally felt like, oh, this is such a fun movie. Yeah, definitely like Leo Forte. He was a lot more powerful from the get-go compared to Simon though from TTGL, so it's a little bit different. Obviously they were enemies.
Of course it's different, but they had that same kind of,
it's like a spiritual successor thing going on. For sure. Yeah. No way it wasn't.
And with Cray Foresight, like the evil big bad guy, I definitely felt like he was putting out like Lord Genome energy type of thing.
Dude, as soon as I saw him, I was like, okay, this is the bad guy. The good main character meets his hero, he's definitely going to get disappointed. There's no way this guy is good.
Yeah, I was definitely feeling like bad guy as well. And real quick, I want to talk about the art style. Did you actually like the art style for?
Oh, I loved it. All those polygons for the fire dragons and stuff like that. And what is it when they use, like, I remember in Kill la Kill, inside of the clothes, they would have the lines moving. They used that too as well.
The thing that really bothered me a little bit at the beginning, because it took your eyes a little bit to adjust, is that they didn't use black outlines.
I know. I like that a lot, to be honest with you, especially for the lights.
It was okay. It's cool, but when there's a lot of stuff happening at once, it kind of blurs together, and your eyes have a very hard time trying to figure out what's going on.
Maybe it's fair. I followed it along just fine for my part. It was just part of the whole experience. If anything, the polygons were jarring at first, but then I got used to it and it grew on me.
Yeah, it took a little bit of time to get used to it, but once you did, it turned out really great. But just that very first like big scene where they put out the fire in that big building, like if your eyes haven't adjusted, like having no black border outline to actually focus on something, it feels like whiplash going back and forth, like trying to figure out like where the animation is going. But like after I did adjust to it, I really did enjoy the animation because it was so smooth and so clean. Especially with the 3D, they did a great job on 3D. It
was pretty fantastic. That's why I like the polygons. It's like, because a lot of the times there'll be a little bit of jaggy edges on the model, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But when it's purposely made that way, you don't care.
I think that's what they were going for. Yeah. So I didn't feel like it took away anything from the animation. Them using
it fit 3D. Just right in.
Yeah, it fit perfectly. Like at that first starting scene when Gallo was fighting like the three bad guys and they had their like armor on. Did you get like a Power Ranger feel from that?
No, if anything, I got it's like, man, this little robot he's fighting in reminds me of the small one from Gurren Lagann. And lo and behold, that's exactly what it's referencing. I'd say, at least, especially since they introduced the drills later on.
I was talking about like the bad guys in their like black armor.
A little bit because of the exaggerated explosions and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was all over the place. Oh, so let's real quick get into like the story of Promare. And it wasn't I'm not gonna say it's like a mind-blowing story, but
not at all.
It had an easily followable story. Like
the only thing for me was like, okay, I'm watching a Trigger anime, I can see everything coming a mile away. It's super predictable, but it was very enjoyable. It delivered everything it should have.
Yeah, you're here for the art. You're not here for the story.
Yeah, well, you're here for that wind up at the end that Trigger's famous for. It's like, hold on, when's the aliens coming in? And then aliens. Oh my god, I knew it.
the fire alien or whatever.
Yeah, I forgot what they were called. Those from the other dimensions. Like, okay.
It was just the fire, right? Yeah, it wasn't really aliens. It was just fire.
No, they are. They're like I guess spirits is what I'll call them lazily because I don't remember the exact name for them.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, so I don't remember the exact way they got brought to the Earth, but that's how the people became powered. And they burned them out at the end of the movie, and then that's how they went back to their dimension.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go through the story real quick. It's basically like Galostymos is the main character, and basically he's in a fire force. He's basically like in a fire force team where they,
he's a firefighter.
Yeah, he's a firefighter. It's just a bunch of people putting out fires. And the thing about these fires is that they're made by people called the Burnish, which also more to the that anime, like Fire Force. Fire Force. It resembles Fire Force pretty much to a T in regards to like the base of the base of like the story.
Right.
And then a little bit later on, you learn that Earth is about to get destroyed by like a huge cataclysm that's gonna burn the entire Earth because of the magma core or whatever. And the reason why this is happening, I don't think they go like too much into like scientific detail.
They just kind of like convenient reason for the main character to be a hero. That's what it felt like to me. It's like, okay, this is what's happening. I just accepted it as a fact of their world.
Yeah, and basically Cray Foresight, he's like the big bad guy. He's like the good guy at the very beginning. Like,
he's the governor of the whole city, I believe.
Yeah, he seems like a good guy, but you learn that he's a bad guy. Big shocker. Like, you can easily tell that he's the bad guy, like, right when you meet him. Like, it's a trigger anime, and they do this all the time.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, there's a lot of racial tensions, I guess you could call them. Would you call the Burnish another race? Powers versus unpowereds?
Yeah, that's what it feels like, almost like just one side destroying. Like, it's just people who they don't want to destroy stuff. They just are awakened with this like fire ability, basically Fire Force. And they
literally exactly. That's why I said it was like TTGL mixed with Fire Force. You just combine the two.
The story it combines the story of Fire Force, but I'm saying like the animation wise, it's combined with Kill la Kill.
No, but like, even in TTGL, you had the spiral people that were, I guess, enslaving the diggers down below, weren't they? Back in
No. I'm not saying it doesn't resemble Gurren Lagann. It definitely resembles Gurren Lagann. But instead of resembling Fire Force, I'm saying it just like this, like animation wise, it resembles Kill la Kill. Like Kill la Kill and Gurren Lagann. You're saying it resembles Gurren Lagann and Fire Force.
In the story as well, but yeah, it's mostly like a merging of the three for me.
Yeah. And then like it's basically like the perfect triangle almost of like
perfect,
those three.
Not a triangle. Yeah. I was about to say a perfect circle, but that doesn't make sense at all. Because that's a bad. It always pops up when I say a perfect.
The perfect circle.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, Cray Foresight, big bad guy, he's creating this giant spaceship to launch 10,000 people to another planet. And the thing about this spaceship is that it uses like these people with fire abilities. What it does is he straps these people into these like little boxes, and he spins them around, and then they basically steals their fire energy, and that's what he uses to open this portal. And he needs like every single burnish that exists in the entire world for this thing to activate. But what he doesn't know is that the burnish are somehow connected to this like big magma cataclysm, and that if all
so that
of them
was
are,
the aliens that are powering the people, they're connected to the center of the earth. That's why when they're spinning up so many people, that would facilitate the destruction of the world, and that's what starts happening. All the volcanoes are erupting, stuff like that, because those little alien creatures or whatever the heck they were, you start crying out that they're, I guess, being abused or something like that. They want to not die, I guess. I felt more like it was kind of like the more people that have these powers, so like it's they're taking their powers from like the middle of the earth. So the earth doesn't have that much power to destroy the world, but once all these people with all their powers are completely gone, all this the center core of the earth doesn't use, or like the power doesn't get stolen by these people.
So that's why there's excess energy, and that's why the Earth is gonna explode. That's how I think of it, but they don't really go scientifically into it.
It felt like a little better explained. Sounds like in the dub, to me at least, because it sounds like you had a little bit more trouble getting the grasp of what it was. It was just, simple aliens. They merge with people in their soul. They want to burn brighter, because just that's what the types of creatures they are. They like burn.
They probably
not
explained it
maliciously.
differently. Yeah, not maliciously. Like, it's their life force, basically.
Yeah. They like this. That's how they have fun, dude. Some dudes just want to be making pizzas, and these little creatures just want to be burning stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that pissed me off so much when he was making pizzas, and then they go and arrest the dude. It's like, the man is just serving your hero of the town, dude. Like,
exactly.
Bomb ass pizzas, minding his own business. Vulcan comes here and just fucking robs his ass off the street.
Dude, those guys are like the most generic bad guys, but I hated them. Like, they looked cool though, but
yeah, they did. It was like, oh, this is exactly like the BD. Remember in Kill la Kill when that dude burst into the tiny room out the door? I was like, oh my god, this is exactly that dude. But like, they put in the teeth to make sure he's a bad guy.
Oh, like the jagged, like sharp teeth or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes obviously he'll be, oh, he's the good guy from like TTGL, the monkey guy, but this time I was like, yeah, he's wearing black. It's a short movie. He's definitely not gonna be a good person in any way, and he's one of the main people yanking people off the streets and storming the Burnish's campgrounds where they're camping out, trying to be safe and just live their life.
Yeah, so immediately when I saw them, I knew they were going to be the bad guy. Because, like, their entry, like, they're wearing all black armor. They're big. They're, like, didn't they have, like, the same thing, like, right at the beginning of Fire Force, where they kind of had, like, the other team kind of show up, and you somewhat kind of knew, like, they were the bad guys?
Yeah, definitely they had that aura, the big black vans, all wearing the same uniform. Dude looks menacing, jagged teeth. Doesn't look like a main character at all. Looks like a protagonist straight up. You seeing the dude's like, oh yeah, this guy's the bad guy. And then when you saw Crane, he's like, he looks like a good guy. He's definitely the bad guy. Just because he's big and buff, and Gallows all being, he's built, but he's not burly like the bad guys were.
No,
like, okay,
he basically looks like Kamina. Like he's like the one representation of Kamina. Like, big
a little
energy.
bit American cousin from another dimension or something like that.
Exactly. If Kamina was a firefighter. Okay, so like regarding like the weapons, real quick, I thought they were super cool. Don't you think?
They were pretty. I really like how they grabbed the items from old firefighters in, what was it, feudal Japan or something like that.
Oh, like his like themed armor, like Gallows' themed armor.
Yeah, with his little lance at the start of the movie.
Was it firefighter themed? I thought it was just like it was
a firefighter themed. They showed a little picture of it with the cone helmet and the staff. I guess like I wouldn't say it's a festival staff or anything like that, but shows what I know about Japanese history. But it was super cool.
It reminded me more of like a spiritual type of armor, like something you would wear to like give like an offering to the spirits or something. It doesn't. I was like, that thing looks way too bulky. Like if you wore that like feudal Japan, like that thing looks way too bulky to be like a firefighter armor or something like that. No, well,
just the helmet part with the staff, not the rest of it.
Oh, I guess I can kind of see. What do you think of the frozen bullet? Like, I thought it was like super cool that like the fire and then the ice were kind of like. They're like
fusing together,
not fusing together,
exist at the same time.
But what was it? They were like incorporeal, so you can like ride on flames and like run on fire or something like that.
That other physical.
Yeah.
Oh, super cool. Remember when Vulcan he jumps out of a plane or out of a building, something like that, and he's jumping up, running up the dragon with his gun, just shooting at him, not without a single care in the world. It's like, oh my god, dude, what a man.
Dude, like you know what's funny is that what had more feeling, not feeling, but like animation. What had more animation than Vulcan?
What?
His fucking car. Like his car
Oh,
is
you mean
like
screen time?
that's not even screen time. It just like had more animation. Like do you remember like when they were in the prison and the car was like just squeezing through
Oh yeah,
the
it had
prison.
way more personality, didn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it had more personality.
I love that giant thing squeezing into a tiny hallway, breaking physics. I freaking love that. I love
like
it in
squeezing
TTGL,
itself.
not TTGL, but I mean, Kill la Kill, and I love it now.
Yeah, I was, and then like whenever like the car's like driving, like they whenever they animate the car, I think they did a really good job because the car was in 3D, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah, it was in 3D, but they were doing they're like using it as like they were hand drawn like 2D animation, like how whenever like slapstick or something like when altering 3D or something. I think that's like a really hard thing to do, but they pulled it off flawlessly. I was like, wow.
Oh yeah, they did.
They
car had
warped this thing.
personality. It looked like a living creature. That's
it was. They did such a great job, like just warping 3D and stuff like that. What do you think of like the ice bullets and stuff like that? I thought they were pretty cool, huh?
So the ice bullets, specifically the scene where Leo Forte gets shot out of a giant cannon that his other two friends magically made. I don't know how that happened, but anyway, when they shot him into the volcano and then the fire was fighting the ice until he finally grabbed that big ass dragon. That was amazing. And the following scenes from there was just pure hype.
Oh yeah, it was just like animate. Like they're just throwing animation at you, like animation.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Exactly. That's exactly what this movie is. Well, going back to the story, when the dragon was rampaging through the town trying to get to Crave Foresight, what did you think about Gallo just whisking Leo off of his feet and taking him to the lake? I think it was.
I don't think he really whisked him away to the. I like he took Leo and then they both like got rammed into the airplane mechanical thingy, and then the girl dropped them off at the lake to cool off. So it was more like a her thing where it's like go cool off, and then I don't know where they magically find the laboratory.
Oh, I thought it was that she was working with Gallo and it's like, okay, let's take him out of the situation. But I think he should have just joined the fight. That would have been better. I guess it wouldn't have been Gallo's modus operandi or whatever. But yeah, I guess it would have been more him to just take him away and start the fight. But it kind of doesn't make sense because
it made sense.
The fight?
He stopped the fight because Leo said that he would have never hurt anybody. Like he like. His thing was that if they burned down a building, they always made like an exit strategy for people to get out. But whenever Leo went like full Dragonfire mode, he was just burning everything in his sight. So he didn't really care about saving people. That's why Gallo took him.
Does make sense. He was taken out of the situation because he was acting out of character. Against his ideals.
Yeah, exactly. That's why he threw him inside the. That's why he threw him inside the plane, and then the girl inside the plane dropped him off inside the frozen lake. For both of them to cool off or whatever, because I guess they were still like fighting inside the plane or whatever. I guess I mean it's more of like an animation bomb than anything. Like we don't really care much about the story, so we just want to see the animation. And what did you think like when they got his no before that, like when they were talking about the old guy, like the robot, like the Gridman-esque robot, like Hero Man. It was like the most Hero Man-esque robot I've ever seen. Like,
dude, now that you mentioned Hero Man, you know what I thought of when I saw it? That's exactly what I thought of when I saw Crave Force. Like, man, this dude looks like Hero Man incarnate, like the mech from the show.
Oh,
yeah. So Hero
like,
Man,
was like a person.
For people that don't know, is anime that Stan Lee animated. I don't know if he created it, the original character or what, but I remember he cameoed in it, and that was a big highlight of anime.
It was weird. Yeah, it was such a weird thing, but I don't know. Like, I don't think I finished it, but it's there for people who wanted to, like, if you like Marvel and you like anime. These two worlds mixed together.
Definitely. But anyways, that big giant robot, like Baymax Hero Man Love Child, was pretty a little bit. Whatever. I hope this isn't the final robot for the future because this looks super
course
lame.
not.
Yeah. Thank God they changed into something cooler, like immediately somehow. I still don't.
No.
Get how
Gallo's
they
like.
can,
The reason why Che was like, Gallo's like, man, I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling this robot.
Yeah, he wasn't feeling it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
exactly
they magically
how I felt.
changed it. Yeah, they magically changed the robot, how it looks, and I'm like, okay, sure. Like that it was basically like a girl Logon film where it's like, I'm just gonna change how the robot looks because I have all this spiral energy.
Dude, I wonder if that's what the creator of the movie of the script was like. I'm gonna make this super lame robot, and then I'm gonna make Gallo say I'm not feeling it, and then transform it into something cooler in reaction to the audience. I bet that was his thought process.
just make a lame ass robot and then just hype everyone up like pushing it like a really cool looking robot.
Yeah. And by the way, that soundtrack of the movie is freaking amazing. Like immediately when I fired up the movie, I saw Hiroano Suyuki in the credits. Like, oh, okay, yeah, it's gonna be good. Good music for sure.
Oh yeah, it definitely was like. Of course they're gonna get hype music. It's Trigger, so of course they're gonna get hype music for this like crazy animation they did.
The song is called Inferno.
Of course it's called Inferno.
Yeah, I had to look at it. I was like, okay, I'm listening to this like 3 more times after the movie ended.
It didn't really stand out to me. Like it was good background music, but it didn't really stand out to me as like something I would re-listen to on its own. That's how I felt about the movie. But I felt like overall, like I think the movie did a lot to help like get you hyped up. I think that's one thing. This movie is not as good if you watch at home. This is definitely a movie theater movie.
Dude, I totally wished I saw this in the theaters. Like, man, I kind of regret not going into the theater now. Like, I definitely from here on out, after the Demon Slayer movie, I'm gonna be catching a lot of more anime movies when they're coming to my town.
Yeah, this is definitely like something like you need to watch in theaters because it just you lose. I feel like you lose like 50% hype if you're not in the theaters, right?
I think so too, because like I remember when I was a little kid and I would blast the audio on the TV to get that feel. Like this is the exact same thing I would have felt in the movie theater, like the sense of awe, like being there in person, even though it's animated. Overall, what would you give the movie for a rating?
Maybe like watching it at home, probably like 7.8, maybe an 8, just flat 8.
You know, your hypothetical would be maybe an 8.5 for a theater.
Yeah, probably 8.5 for that. Maybe 8.2 to 8.2, 8.3 for theaters. This is maybe what I'm.
Story wasn't the best, so I would definitely go solid 8, even at home for me. 7.8 the lowest.
Yeah,
it was a fantastic movie. Character designs were beautiful. The effects were great. Music tremendous. Action out of this world. Literally,
like
at the end of the movie.
My take for like a good movie is that would you go back and actually rewatch it? I don't think I could. I don't think I would rewatch. Like the one time is good enough for me for Promare.
I would rewatch it with a group of people, like for a movie night for sure. Not.
Oh yeah, like. Yeah, definitely. Like alone, like watching it again alone. I'm like, nah. That's why I'm giving it a low score just because it's not that type of movie where you could watch it more than once. I'm sure a lot of people would get enjoyment out of it watching it more than once, but I feel like this is just a one and done movie.
I'm like 50-50 on rewatch. I probably will because it is something I'm gonna recommend people watch, just like I did for Red Line back in.
I mean, it's basically like. If you just finished Gurren Lagann and you're chasing that like next hit of like the anime, you know, this is definitely where to go.
Nah,
like,
if you finish Gurren Lagann, you need to watch Kill la Kill, then watch Fire Force, then watch this. In that order. Because it was the merging of those three.
I don't know if you need to watch Fire Force. Like it's just for the base of the story.
Fire Force is cool, dude.
It's cool, but I don't think you like. I don't
think
you need to watch it.
Another novelty factor for me.
I mean, it's just the base story, right? That's what it is.
Yeah.
It just has the same base story. Like that's all I'm getting out of it.
All right. So moving on to A Silent Voice, which was the movie that you chose.
Oh, it was a lot. It was a lot to take in.
It was a lot. This is gonna be heavy for you.
Like, okay, so I'll tell you like how I would probably never go back and watch Promare, right? Because it's too hype. I would never go back to watch Assault on the Woods because I don't know if I can put myself through that movie again. Like that's how I felt. Like that feeling.
Super hype with that random song from the Who. What was it called? My Generation.
Yeah, it was out of nowhere. I was like, what? Would they have an English song in this? Okay,
dude, it felt top tier when I saw it, anime characters to the Who. I've never seen that before. That was like, I loved it, every moment of that, especially when they were jumping out the bridge together. And by the way, they used bridges a lot in this movie.
I think that's like the theme is bridging connections, right? Yeah,
exactly. And what was the main character's name? Nishida, jumping off of the bridge at the beat as a kid.
Yeah,
throwing communication to the wind.
It felt like a really nice opening, like just a standard like
youthful.
Yeah, standard youthful opening, whatever. And then it got, I don't know, a lot dark. Like it went from like, oh, happy go lucky, and then it just went on into like the like crazy dark place. No. Didn't it start out super dark though? Like
with him before wanting to jump off the bridge.
Exactly.
He paid off all his debts.
Dude, his mom just legit burned the money. What the fuck?
Yeah, it was like $15,000. I legit went into Google and put it. I wonder how much money that was. Was it $50K? Really?
It was
put
like
that into GameStop, dude.
It was like 1.7 million yen, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I roughly 15K USD.
I was like, what the fuck? And then the gall of his mom's like, you could just re-earn it, right? I'm like, what the fuck?
I mean, I'm sure he would have, because the amount of fucked up things he's did as a kid, he still felt bad about.
Yeah,
he would have definitely.
No. But like, imagine you're working your ass off to pay this debt back to your parents, right? And then your mom's like, I'm gonna burn this money. Like, I know she didn't do it on purpose. She
did it on accident because her hand got too low to the flame. You know what's funny about the scene after that?
What?
When he's riding his bike, those weird tassel things? I thought he had burned his hand and just like put his hand in mittens to be able to ride his bike or something. No, it's just decoration on his bicycle.
Oh, I thought that was the other kid's bike. The Tomoshiro.
Those are the main characters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why is that a thing? I don't get why that's a thing. The little mittens on the bike. Is that a...
Yeah, I don't get it either. It wasn't even cold. They were just wearing their...
No, but it wasn't even mittens, right?
Uniforms.
It wasn't even mittens. It was like a hat for your handlebar.
Yeah, it looks super weird. I've never seen that before.
It's basically you take a straw hat and then you cut it up to where it covers your handlebar, and it's not even like a motorbike. It's just a regular bike. So
I wonder if it's just the Japanese version of tassels on a bicycle.
I guess I don't know anything about that. I thought that was really weird. Okay,
let's jump back to the start. Exactly.
Yeah, the start. So basically, the reason why I guess he wants to kill himself is so they cut to him being a kid, and they tell the story of how this girl joins his class, and then of course she's deaf, a silent voice, of course, and the thing about her is that she wants to be friends with everyone, and she eventually is able to get a hold of like these what are they called? Hearing
aids.
Hearing aids. There you go. And then he always teases her, and like not the type of teasing where like, oh, you love someone so you tease them. Like, he just legit teases her just to just because he's in that type of group of other kids where they just like to tease other people. Bullies. And the thing is, yeah. And basically he throws away her hearing aids. Like, I think she goes through like 8 pairs of different hearing aids.
They said
that,
yeah, and even before that, before it escalated to the hearing aid thing, but before that,
yeah,
you know, at first it was cool. You talk to her with a piece of paper, it's a fun new toy.
Yeah,
but eventually, you know, as kids, they get bored with toys, and they moved on to talking bad about her, making fun of how her voice sounds. You know what's funny about her voice? The scene when they're in the music room. And they start singing, and she starts before everyone else. That was hilarious. And then she had to tap her on the shoulders, like, "No, you gotta wait. I'll let you know."
I mean, I haven't gone through that type of. I feel like people who have been with people that are deaf feel like they know, like, probably can connect to this anime better. But as someone who hasn't been through that type of situation where, you know, like, or you have to help somebody because of their, you know, because they can't hear, they can't see, stuff like that,
their disabilities.
Yeah, I felt like, man, these kids are hella jerks, but that's just how kids are.
Yeah, but the thing is, these like, they're, you know, the kids won't know, so they have to carry that burden themselves. They won't have that hindsight till they're much older. And we're seeing them deal with the consequences of their early years. Yeah, and not all of them grow up as the main character did. No, some of them.
Yeah,
Ueno was a straight piece of trash for the whole movie.
I could not take her seriously. You want to know why?
Why?
She looked exactly like Mio from K-On!
And that's what I thought too. I was like, goes Mio from K-On!
Yeah, I was like, fuck, I can't fucking take her seriously. She looks exactly like her, and I was just like, I know you're trying to sell me a bad person, but I just can't take her as a bad person because she looks exactly alike.
She's just like anime girl with black hair, but I know what you mean. I felt the same exact thing.
To be honest, out of all the characters I hated the most, it was the
I know exactly what you're gonna say. Who you're gonna say.
Who?
It is the blonde girl that kind of acts like she's the best person in the room. Remember?
No. Like the smart girl, like the smart looking girl, right?
She sits like at the front of the class, like she tries to be the leader of the group.
It has glasses and everything.
Yeah, the blonde one. She's like the only blonde one.
No, not that one. It's
not her. I hated her so much.
The one I hated the most was the kid with like. It was like the blonde-haired boy with like the faded eyes.
Oh, his friends. What was it called? Shinomi or something like that.
He was only in like a couple of shots, but he was the one that was working at like the not the convenience store, the theme park selling like food and stuff like that. I hated him so much. I know that Shimada, I know that Shoya. Yeah, I know Shoya was like, you know, a dirt bag when he was a kid, but Shimada was pretty bad too. Like he also like teased on her, and then I know it's bad that Shoya was like shifting blame or whatever, like saying like, you know, I'm not the only bad guy.
They all shifted blame onto
Shoya.
Ishida. Yeah, they made him the sacrificial lambs. Like, it wasn't us doing anything; we were just following along with him. And that one girl at the front acting like she never did anything wrong. The one that I hate the most, the blonde, was like, "This fucking kid, somebody punch her."
Oh yeah, it's like,
don't do that. But yeah, I hated that. That's the point where I had to pause and was like, "Oh my god, I fucking hate this."
I actually do hate her too. Yeah, I hated her guts.
Super fake and toxic.
Yeah, she's like every time, even when they're older, you know, where they're talking about her doing bad stuff, she goes into that like
she makes sure to speak aloud and let everybody know that Ishida's the one that's the actual bad guy, so that they ostracize him and she becomes like the knight, I guess. Yeah, like the better person, like even though she was just like from the class.
Like, I can't recall if she do anything bad though. I don't think she just talked behind her back, right? Like she
just followed along with everybody else and teased and laughed around along with them. She wasn't like the primary instigator, but she was just riding the waves of the bullying and being part of the main group, the popular kids.
Yeah, I think that was it. I still didn't like her. She was still a dirtbag.
Oh my god, I know.
Like, I think that was her thing. Like, she just wanted to, like, her main defense is that just talk really loud and shift the blame to other people.
Well, that was to prop herself up. Because remember how Ishida called her out in that one scene when they're all meeting when they're teenagers. I
Mhm.
guess they're all 18 or 17 at this point. But he's like, "You really love yourselves." Like, yeah, she does.
Oh, like when she got the new hair, the hairdo or whatever.
No, he was just like they were arguing about bullying the deaf girl in the past,
Oh,
and he was calling out everybody again, just like he
oh,
did at the
like while on the
classroom.
bridge. Yeah.
Yeah, and that scene just as an aside, extra fucked up how he hid his mouth when they were talking. Like she couldn't know, like the deaf girl didn't know what the fuck they were saying. She couldn't read lips. They're like hiding their mouths and stuff like that.
I
The
did not.
shameless pose.
I did not catch that.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, I hated that so
Wow.
much. Like, dude, like obviously he's still growing, right? But oh
Yeah.
my god, I felt extra bad for the blind girl. Like, I try to think of if it were me in that girl's position, how I would have felt having people talk about me in front of me and not being able to discern what the fuck they're saying.
Exactly. That's what the hearing aids are for, right? Yeah.
No, she has like major hearing problems.
Yeah, but what are the hearing aids for then? I don't get it.
It helps her hear, but her hearing loss is to such a point where it's a minimal help. That's why I remember where they go to the doctor's office and then
Right.
she's crying with the one scene and she transitions from using 2 to just 1. It's probably because she's lost hearing in 1 year completely.
I guess, but like the main part of the story is I guess not the main part. It is about the hearing aids or whatever, like about them being destroyed or whatever. That's like a minor part of the story. But I was like, what's the point of having hearing aids then if you just can't hear anything? Like, I guess maybe it's just for like loud horns and stuff like that, right?
I'm sure it would help, but like also just, grasping for any chance of getting your hearing back or any help, to help her live life.
I guess
You might as well
I guess
use
it's like
what little you can is the point of view that I had.
I guess like in terms of like people with glasses, I guess it's like if you're having like what's the thing where your eyes turn white, like something
Cataracts.
like that. Cataracts, yeah, and you
glasses,
have glasses
don't really help with that. You just get those shaved down with a procedure. Like back in the days, early 1900s, obviously you're blind for good. Now you could just get that shaved off.
Yeah, but I mean, it only glasses kind of help, but it only helps so much, right? Like that's what I'm saying.
Because it's
like,
a clouding of the iris.
Yeah,
it's a clouding over the lens over the iris, I believe.
Yes, I don't know much about that, but I'm just saying like something in terms of that is like hearing aids help, but they only help so much. Like if you're going like completely deaf, I guess it only helps so much. And I guess I don't know. I hated that scene so much where he was just like he's getting so far. Like I love that he made all these friends, and then right at the bridge scene, he just cuts all ties. I'm like,
well, it was when they brought in Shimada. That's when the House of Cards was falling down, because before he's like, is it really okay for me to have friends? Then he sees Shimada, and that's when he remembers, oh, like, no, it's probably not okay for me. That's when he starts withdrawing again.
I love that they visually represent that with like people having X's over their face.
Oh, that was such a good taste. Like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah,
at first, but then it's like, oh, okay, it's the people he's opening up to. And by the way, they didn't even show his sister's face. I guess she doesn't really matter. She's not a significant part of his life or very.
You mean his aunt?
Story. No, the little black girl in his house. That's his sister.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, she's just like not there at all. It's just him and his mom and his niece. But it doesn't really matter to the story.
Wait. What sister are you talking about?
Exactly. So remember the start of the movie. There, when the music is playing by the Who, and they see this black dude curling a dumbbell randomly, is like a 1 second scene.
Yeah,
that is his brother-in-law.
Right. No, wait. Okay. So
until after the movie.
Okay, so that's not his mom, right? That's his sister.
No. So that black guy is the sister. You never meet her. The blonde lady is Ishida's mom.
Okay, got you. I got that part.
So the black guy is the son-in-law.
So it's
they're not
not
very important to the story. They're just
I know they're not
part of his
important.
family.
Like it was so weird that they just started adding random characters like whenever he grew up, like because he didn't have like a little sister or whatever when he was younger.
His niece would be his little sister because she was always there. And remember the scene at the start where the money burning was taking place? Remember when they were talking about why he was jumping off the bridge? I was like, dude, this little kid has seen all of this, and she's just there with her crab shirt. I was like, oh, I don't know, I'm a kid.
I don't think she even knows what they're talking about. I think she's like happy set like
this is
just
too
people
deep for a
screaming.
kid.
Yeah.
When I saw like in a later scene when they were talking about deep stuff like that, there's kids in the background. I was like, oh my god, these kids witnessing this stuff. I mean, but that's life, right? They're gonna witness stuff like that whether they want to or not at some point.
Okay, so wait. So the kid, the little kid, like that's not his real sister, right? Yeah.
That's his niece.
It's his niece. Okay, that's where I was getting confused. I was like, is that a niece or is that his actual sister? Like, did his mom just like randomly remarry like a different person? Because
it threw me off at first until they explained it at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
It was just like a 1 second thing.
Yeah, I was so confused. Basically, they're just looking after the little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I guess the parents are working or something. The dad might have gone to America because he said he just came back.
Right, dude.
It doesn't really matter to the story, but I wanted to know more about them. But I guess
I have to get
it.
Okay, so that's not his sister. No, I'm not. I'm talking about the aunt. That's not his sister. That's his aunt. The one that has the kid.
Yeah,
like the person. Yeah, the person that doesn't show their face. Like that's never.
The main character's sister. The blonde lady is his mom.
Right, the blonde character is his mom.
Which I'm sure she just dyes her hair.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, that's not his aunt. That's his sister, and then his sister has a kid with the American guy, and that's his niece. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, they don't really explain it very well in the anime. They just kind of pop up out of nowhere randomly.
Yeah, it is just like a 2 second thing.
Yeah, it's really literally near the end too. Yeah, it's near the end where you're like, oh, finally, I can just relax now. Yeah, you're done with the movie. I can just relax
now. You were through like a whole fucking shift of work watching people get emotionally fucked up for 2 hours. I was like, okay, I know. Relax now.
Dude, like, do you know how much that's even like twice as worse? Right after you watch Promare, you go to Promare and then you watch a Silent Voice. I was like, fuck, man, this is like why did I watch these 180. Two? Yeah, like why did I choose these two movies back to back? But
it's better that there's a contrast, dude. Sweet and sour, right?
No. There's a difference between sweet and sour. This is like going from like eating like a bag of Skittles to going straight to eating like a like what's that pepper called, like the Reaper, the Carolina Reaper.
Yeah, that's basically what it was.
Yeah.
You know what character I really liked, by the way? Sorry to cut you off. That dude with the clover hair, the first friend that Ishida gets.
Oh yeah,
he wears the Hollywood shirt.
I love him.
Yeah,
dude, he gets like his outfit gets weirder and weirder every time you see him.
Well, he wears like a scarf and a shirt that says Hollywood, and you see the little what are those? Hold your pants up.
Holsters, something
suspenders.
Like that. The suspenders. There you go.
Yeah, he was wearing like suspenders with metal studs on. Like, this dude's trying hard, and I respect that. But
I think halfway through, he was wearing like pop star. Like he was wearing like leather jeans, and he was really going out like he. I love that. I would love to see the movie retold through his eyes. I think that would be so awesome.
Yeah, that character was like GOAT for the movie because he was carrying Ishida through a lot of bad stuff, right? Yeah, he was like the one that rehabilitated him by himself.
Yeah, it was so random. You know who needs to get more props is Ishida's mom, dude. She is like legit the best mom.
Oh, for sure, dude. Didn't she get her earring ripped out by the Death Girl's
mom?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Dude, I guess it had like a fight or something.
I bet that's exactly what happened because you saw she was bleeding from the ear.
Yeah, I don't think they fought. I think she just like hit her really hard or something like that, and maybe accidentally ripped her earrings out.
She was definitely very scuffed up. I'm sure she let her.
Yeah.
because she was taking responsibility for her kid ripping out the girl's hearing aids.
Oh no, I don't think that's really it. I think they just like, I think her mom just like, or the deaf
No,
mom.
because in Japanese shows you always see the boss doing the dogeza for his subordinate or something like that. That's kind of how
Right.
I took it, as she was paying her back her money, but obviously that wasn't
Enough.
nearly
Yeah.
worth enough for the trauma that the kid went through. With
Yeah,
all the
like
bullying
bullying
with
and
the
all
hearing
that.
aids. Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
those hearing aids are fucking expensive. Jesus.
No, no, no. Like, you want to know what's funny? When he gave the money back to the mom, right? It's 15,000. Right? 15,000 for 8 of them. For 8 of them, right? And I was like, holy shit, that's cheap. Because think about it, in America, that would have been like a couple $1,000,000.
No, I think they would have been like 2K each.
No, no, no.
That's
Like, because
about
think about it,
that.
because
'Cause, like, for
insurance
the
and stuff
hearing
like
aid
that.
consultation is like $200 just for a visit.
You think so?
Yeah.
I feel like with insurance and everything, I feel like they jack up the price in the US.
They would. They're expensive. Like, prosthetics are $1 million, but like hearing aids aren't that expensive. Like, obviously they're expensive for like poor families. So like,
Yeah.
about $2,000 for a good one. Then of course it scales up for more expensive ones.
So basically, it's a thousand a piece, 2,000 for both ears.
Something like that. I
give,
bet.
give or take. Yeah,
The
depending
cost
on
of a
brand.
dental implant, I suppose.
Yeah, depending on a lot of factors.
Yeah.
in regards to that. But how I feel like once you destroy the first one, who pissed me off? The fucking teacher, dude. Didn't he piss you off?
Not really. Like, what can you do as a teacher? Like, I guess you hit him, but then you lose your job.
I mean, but
at
you
least
can
he called him out in front of everybody.
He didn't reprimand, like, okay, like he threw away the hearing aid, right? As a teacher, I feel like you should reprimand someone for throwing away $2,000 worth of equipment. I'm just saying.
I don't think he saw it, did he?
I mean,
just the kids in the classroom.
I mean, after 8 times, I feel like you would see it, or
they did suspend the kid, and they found out, like, because he called him out in front of everybody. Like, we all know it was fucking you. But what pissed me off is he didn't realize that it was all the kids in the classroom, which is poor teaching job, I would say. Because you're supposed to know what's going on with your classroom.
Exactly.
Being a teacher, you don't have an all-seeing eye. You're not perfect. But
I feel like
it.
Did he really get angry? He got angry. I feel like the only reason he got angry is because he was just kind of fed up with it at the end. And then he just kind of is like you did it, take the blame or whatever. But the teachers just kind of like pissed me off so much, because I was like, do something, man. Like, I don't know. He was like the most lackluster teacher I've ever seen.
Always, just doing his job, but like,
oh God.
I mean, I don't know. We don't know that dude's backstory. We can only imagine. It's maybe his first time dealing with it. You seem like what, late 20s dude, early 30s. Just going by his
seems
style.
like
I'm just speculating here now.
Just randomly, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Well, did you
gotta talk about what a knockout performance the voice actor for the deaf girl had. She like really got that voice typed down.
Did you think was it like an actual like deaf person, or was it like a voice actress that just pulling it off really well?
I'm sure it was a voice actress, dude. I mean, you could just grab a deaf person off the street and hear how they talk. They're not gonna know how everything sounds perfectly.
Right.
Haven't you ever heard Helen Keller speak before?
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying. Like, did they actually
she spoke pretty good at. Like, I remember in the movie The Miracle Worker, where you heard Helen Keller speak as a little kid. That's kind of how it sounded like.
Yeah, I like that's the same thing in the anime. She actually got better. She actually got better at the end of the like near the end of the anime, where you could actually understand her. But near the beginning, like you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. That movie was a lot. You know what other scene I really enjoyed, just for being a weeb? When they're giving out the coupons, and it's for a cat cafe, and that's how they find Ueno.
Dude, I know, like, they're just finding like all these other friends just randomly out of nowhere. Like, I'm so glad that like all these like friends that were like just bad mouthing and just abandoned him or like now working in like shitty jobs or whatever. I'm like,
They're high schoolers, dude. It's not like they're gonna be working on a fucking
no, but I feel a little bit justified though. Like,
yeah, theme park cat cafe.
yeah.
I mean, but Ishida was working at I don't even know what it was, just a warehouse, I guess.
Mm. Okay, so I looked up the voice actor. Yeah, they actually got like a legit voice actor. She also was the one that did the main character for Kagegurui.
I don't remember the girl's name. I just remember
Jabami.
Jabami.
Yeah. So yeah, she got the voice down really well. I'm just like, I'm not sure. I can't speak to anyone that, you know, because I haven't been around any deaf person, but I feel like she did a good job. Especially like, I know you hated what's her name, Ueno, but I didn't hate her as much as you would think I would hate her, because she's.
No, I didn't hate her as much as that toxic blonde girl. Ueno just never changed after she grew up a little bit. Eventually, with the help of Shoko just showing up in the rain and stuff like that, trying to talk to her all the time, then she turned around a little bit, but she still, you know, needs a lot of work. That's her own character arc she has to go through.
But she's kind of right though. Like, her argument is that like Shoko just wants to act like the damsel in distress, and she never sees it from the other person's point of view of how, you know, like, yeah, you're deaf, but you don't see how other people are affected, you know, but we have to help you in all these other sorts of ways. And you just kind of sit there and just kind of, you know, kind of just receive the help.
I mean, just like she said in the movie when she was a kid beating up Ishida, she's doing the best she can, right? I felt I'm on the opposite side of the coin. Like, Ueno was being selfish from the get-go. She's selfish, the top dog in the pack of people, and she wants Ishida for herself. She's like jealous Shoko, and him have the thing where they have sign language together.
I think she actually really likes Shoya.
Ishida, yeah, for sure.
Like,
definitely, she even said it. Like, she was the one that was locking Shoko out of the hospital room after the accident happened.
No. That was a completely different thing, because Shoko was the one. No, I know she was, but that's not because that was not a love reason. It's because Shoko was the one that caused Ishida to be in that situation. So it wasn't a love reason. Right. It was more of a, you cause him to be in the state. I don't want you to see him. So I completely get that reasoning.
Fair point, yeah.
But I can also see her point of view where she's fed up with having to be around, you know, like Shoko, because they just don't want to deal with it. Especially like at the very beginning when you see the I guess it wasn't a teacher. I guess it was like someone that's teaching sign language or whatever. The teacher's all like, "Can you take 3 minutes out of your day to learn sign language?" And Ueno is the first person to speak, where she's like, "I don't want to have to deal with it. Let's just use the notebook like we always do." And then the
that's
other
just
girl
showing interest in not being part of that girl's. Like, she obviously didn't want to be friends with her.
No, it's not that.
Teacher, I think she was right in introducing that, you know, expanding the kids' world. But, you know, I guess they could just move them to another class if she was being like that. I guess it's a failure on the administration, but whatever. What can you do?
It wasn't just Ueno though. It was like she was the first one to speak up, but then a bunch of the other kids kind of, you know, echoed her, you know, her ideas about like not wanting to learn sign language and stuff like that. And that's where, and then you get to like one of my favorite characters. I guess it's not really my favorite, but like Sahara. She's the one that like helps Shoko out. She doesn't care what other people thinks. She befriends Shoko near the end of, I guess, near the like midterm of the school before Shoko gets pulled out of school by her mother or whatever. And
quick question, just sorry to interrupt you. Do you think, I remember growing up in elementary school, all the kids with disabilities were in their own class.
Right.
Do you think if they had their own class, like with deaf kids and stuff like that, that they would have had them, if they had them in their own class, that would have been okay?
I think it would, because it would better
It would
facilitate.
have avoided all the problems, but then
Yeah.
again, it would have been bad for Shoko. She wouldn't be able to integrate with regular people. She wouldn't deal with all the problems she dealt with. So I'm like
But
50-50 on if they should have their own class or not.
yeah, but like Japan's school system is already poor enough where they can't hire janitors. There's no way they're putting out a budget to
Isn't
have
that
us
just
host.
a cultural thing?
Is it?
I know they have groundskeeper and like in a lot of just going by a lot of shows. I can't pretend to know like what really goes on campuses, but it looks like they have groundskeepers like for grass and trees like that. Do all the more administrative,
Like labor intensive stuff. Yeah. But I
just
mean
the class
like
stuff is like to help them. Go on.
Yeah, but I know in like elementary school, like they don't have like I know that they have people that cook, but they don't have they don't serve you. Like the kids actually serve each other, like the food and stuff like that. So I think it's a budgetary thing, and that's a small budget thing. Like in America, like I've went to a school where they've separated those kids into like a separate classroom, and they have their own teachers and they have their own like administration and stuff like that just for them. And we're talking about a large budget just for that. Maybe Japan could do that, but I don't think they have the budget to. I don't know. Like I don't go to school in Japan, so I don't know the smallest thing about it. But I would
have imagined it was just a different point of view on. It's better to have the kids integrated so that they learn how to deal with other people. That don't have the same issue that they do. But at the same time, I feel like not having them with it would have helped ease the bullying. Like she wouldn't have been bullied, but it's kind of fucked up to just
it's a 50-50 thing, right?
Their own little group. You're kind of ostracizing them when you do that.
Yeah, but we're talking about
bullying, on the other hand, ostracized.
Yeah, but we're talking about her being deaf, so it's not like it's one thing. It's one thing. Like if we're talking like a disability or something, like deaf. People who are deaf can easily overcome that, especially with all the technology now.
True. Even back then, yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you mean. I've never been in a classroom with somebody like that, but I was cognizant of those kids that they had their own classrooms. Like, I wonder if this is, why they have them. It's something that I always think about from time to time.
Yeah.
But it's whatever. And this movie just reminded me of that.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get to the real meat of the story, because we kind of glanced through it, especially the part where Shoei's just kind of in the hospital. So the reason why he's in the hospital is because Shoko, you don't know this until the very end of the show, where she just straight up like wants to commit suicide, and the family knows this. Her family knows this, especially her sister. The reason why her sister like takes all these photos of like dead animals is to show like, look, they're dead. Nothing happens after that. So
is that why she does it? I thought she was just a photographer by hobby.
She does it by hobby, but she like, have you noticed like all those dead pictures? The reason, like, she even says it near the end of the movie when she's taking down all those pictures. She's taking down those pictures and throwing it away. She tells her mother like, I thought that taking all these pictures would cause Shoko not to kill herself. That type of thing.
That's crazy, dude. Imagine being the little sister of Shoko and like feeling responsible for her like that.
They have to deal with it.
Yeah. It's a lot of burden to carry for a kid,
dude. How I mean, like, what, like, let's say like she was able to kill herself, right, dude? What timing, dude? Like, seriously, like,
it's a movie.
No, but I'm like right after like the fireworks festival where she's like going, watching fireworks with Shoya, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna go home, and then she tries to commit suicide. I'm like, what the heck? Damn.
Well,
like,
keep in mind her grandma just died in the movie, right?
Yeah, her grandma just died, but I'm saying like if she committed suicide, right, Shoya probably would have committed suicide too. That's my thinking, right?
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, now that you say it, yeah, I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah,
that's the type of character that would.
Yeah, so man, it's just a lot happened. I'm glad. Did you feel like the ending was fully, like, did you feel glad about the ending though? Like that everything got wrapped up really nice?
Super wholesome at the end.
Dude, I was like cringing so hard because before the ending happened, I was getting like flashbacks of what's that anime? You Lie in April, where the girl dies at the end. I'm like,
oh, thanks. I never watched that show.
You're never gonna watch that show.
No, I know. I saw 6 episodes. Like, okay, I'm done with this. I don't feel like watching it ever again.
Yeah. So like, yeah. I was like, damn, she's gonna die. She's gonna die. She's gonna die. And like when she was about to jump, and then they do the flash cut before Chloe grabs her hand. I was like, oh fuck. I paused it right there, right, to grab a drink, and I was like ruminating. And then I came back.
No way! Oh, she did the thing.
Dude, how did you feel when like they swapped places and they show he's the one that like fell?
That was, yeah. I could have seen that happening because he was barely holding himself up because his feet were off the ground. It's like, how's he gonna grab himself? He's gonna have to like grab something. Like somebody's arm is gonna pop out of their socket, which Shoko's did. And talk about convenient when the friends that bullied him were the ones that pulled him out of the river.
Right. I mean, like, it's so convenient that they're just there. But how would you feel if he fell into the water? Right. They flash cut to the credits.
Oh, that would have been such a bad move. I'm glad they actually showed him recovering.
Oh my god, yeah. The scene where like she cries out and then he immediately wakes up and rushes towards the bridge. I was like, wow. That's something.
Yeah.
That was okay, so real quick, getting to the ending, the very end where everything gets resolved. I love that. So I think near the middle of the movie where he's walking down the hallway and then he just kind of puts his hands over his ears. I think that's the scene where everyone starts getting X's over their faces, right?
Yeah, when he starts.
Yeah.
I thought it was just because, like, I wonder if he's trying to imagine what that girl would feel like.
Oh, yeah, but just not being able to hear?
Yeah, but then again, it's just because those are the people shut off to him. And he wishes he could maybe not hear. Yeah,
just not be able to hear them, see them, stuff like that. Yeah. In the ending where he, where they all the friends are back together and they're happy, he has this revelation where in his mind he mentally takes his hands away from his ears and the X's around their faces, they just drop to the floor and he's able to see in like 4K HD. And everything's more colorful.
Paul getting the Enchroma glasses, crying about seeing color for the first time in his life.
Oh Jesus, get out of here.
I shouldn't have mentioned that at all.
No. Why would you ruin such a good ending of a movie with that?
Because I gotta. So what would you rate this movie?
God. Maybe 8.2 to 8.5. I thought it was a great movie. I would go
0.5 at 8.7, 8.5, 8.6 is what I would give it.
It's just
definitely something I can rewatch with somebody or watch it in a theater or watch it again with friends. That's totally a good movie.
Even if I have friends over, this is the last anime I would watch it with them. It's just that I've seen it before. I know like what's gonna happen. I'm like, hey man, you want to watch a fucked up movie?
Yeah, I already recommended it to 2 people in like a day. I was like, oh my god, I gotta talk to somebody about it. Oh my god.
It's a great movie, but I can't watch it again. It's too much to take on the heart.
That's heavy whipped cream is what it is.
It's super diabetes.
Diabetes, yeah. But feelings.
Alright, I guess we finished both movies. Any last thing to say about them?
No, I got completely whiplash from all the emotion.
Yeah, I am done too. All right, we'll catch you guys later. Bye.